Coming up today on That LTD Life, I'm going to be diving deep into Content Boom. This is a WordPress plugin that allows you to use AI directly inside of your WordPress website. Now, this is essentially a suite of SEO tools allowing you to generate titles, meta descriptions, and even alt text for your images. It does a whole lot more as well, and I will dig into every single feature in this video. My name is Dave, and I'm from ClientAmp.com. I've made hundreds of review videos just like this one. If you're new to lifetime deals, make sure you check out the rest of my channel, give it a subscribe, and hit like if you are interested in growing your online business. Now, today I am looking at Content Boom over on AppSumo. $39 gets you in the door. We're gonna go ahead and check out the plan details right here. And you can see that there's quite a few different plans to choose from, all the way up to tier 4. We're gonna get 5 sites, 25 sites, 100 sites. Going up to tier 4 will give us the holy grail of unlimited WordPress websites. So if you're an agency serving clients, this is probably where you want to go. If you complete this video and say, hey, that looks like a great tool, I want to invest in it, well, there you go. You can get a lifetime deal of unlimited websites. Now, how could they possibly do this? How can they provide unlimited AI generation for unlimited websites? It sounds like a recipe to go out of business, and typically I would agree, except here it says must BYOK, which means must bring your own key for OpenAI. So that means there's going to be a little bit of overhead attached to this license for you, not for the developer. This is very smart. I like this play. I know that won't be popular with everyone on this channel, but it's smart for sustainability. And if you want to have a good way to get AI onto your websites, this just might be it. We're going to find out. Now, before we begin, I just want to show you the Content Boom website. I often show off websites when they are extraordinarily beautiful, but in this case, it's kind of the opposite. No offense, Content Boom. I'm not trying to hate on anyone here, but this is one of the kind of obviously not designed websites that I've ever seen in my life. One of the, that didn't make sense, but like, check it out here. This is their help form. Well, first of all, it's on the About Us page. It's not on the help page at all, which makes a lot of sense. And then when you look at it, wow, that is some submit button. Okay, so these are my initial impressions of this company. I hope things improve from here. So here's what I see when I log into my Content Boom account for the very first time. Now, essentially, all I need to do here is get the plugin and install it on my WordPress website. But there's something about tokens here. I assume this is going to be something like a license code that I'll need to authorize on my website. So I'm going to hit create here. You can see I've got 5 about a tier 1. So I can hit create 5 or create 1, and then I'll get a code right up here. And then I can download the plugin on this section, and it looks like just hit download latest version. All right, and that's downloading. So my thoughts are that everything is working well. They probably just don't have a designer on their team. This is probably developed by maybe even a solo developer who has little to no experience with design. Again, not hating here, just giving honest feedback of what I see. All right, I've got a demo WordPress website, so I'm going to hit add new plugin. Then I'll upload the plugin, and let's drop it in right here and hit install now. It installed successfully, and I'm going to activate. All right, great. It says plugin activated. Now, unlike a lot of plugins I've installed lately, it didn't take me anywhere, which actually is kind of refreshing. I don't like when plugins hijack me and then shove me into their setup process right away. I'd rather be able to do that in my own speed. Now, I do notice a couple of items have been added to my left-hand sidebar. First one I see here is the alt tag generator. And then down below, I see image compression. Kind of interesting that they're adding multiple entries over here to the left-hand sidebar. I think I'd prefer if that was all collapsed into one kind of centralized tool. Oh, of course, there's also Content Boom right here at the top. So let's head in there first and we'll check out the settings. Okay, so here I need to add in my OpenAI API key as well as the token that I generated on their website. Now I just generated an API key for this project over on OpenAI's website, and I'm going to paste this in and save the changes. All right, so everything updated successfully here. Let's check out the next options over. We've got a sitemap option, and I can turn this on right here. This will be great if you're not using any other SEO plugin. If you are using an SEO plugin, chances are you have a sitemap being generated already. So this is kind of a bare bones replacement for something like SEO Press or Rank Math, Yoast, any of those tools. There's also a tab up here for external links. Kind of interesting, couple toggle switches. We can enable no follow. So any external links will be marked as no follow, essentially not giving any Google juice to the sites that you are linking to. I don't know if I'd want to do this on a site-wide basis, but perhaps you do, so you can turn that on if you like. Then below that, we have something called Open Links in New Tab. And that's exactly what it's going to do. If you toggle this on, anytime you open a brand new link, it's going to go into a new tab. I don't necessarily like this if it applies to every single link on your website, but if it were to external links, then it's a lot more useful. So by default, these are off, and I'm going to leave them that way. All right, so looking under Content Boom here, obviously we're in the settings section, but I can go to Content Boom itself. Let's click there. And that looks like it's taking me to the same thing as the settings. So yeah, settings and Content Boom, exactly the same. Then we've got AI Meta Dashboard. Let's click there. Now in the Meta Dashboard, I'm going to see a list of all of my posts, and then I can see the keywords that I've got associated with them, the meta title, and the meta description. And if I want to generate a title or description, I can click right here. Now I've got a bunch of placeholder articles in here, well, just like 5 of them. So they're not actually going to be all of that helpful. Perhaps I'll start by creating a brand new article first, and then I will use Content Boom to optimize it for SEO. So we'll jump past the alt text generation and the image compression and go right to the blog content generator, and we'll double back and hit all of these options later. All right, so the blog outline generator just has a few fields here to fill in. So I chose a topic, and my topic was why lifetime deals and open source is the profitable move for new online businesses. Then I added in a few keywords here, set a target audience, first-time entrepreneurs, online business owners, set a language and a target location, English and the United States. Then under tone, I chose casual. And then under model, I chose ChatGPT 4o. We also have the option between 4 and 3.5 turbo. Now, I want to note that in the roadmap for Content Boom, they mentioned that they're going to be including Claude a little bit later on. So I'm excited for that. I hope it actually comes to fruition because I really enjoy the content that Claude puts out, especially comparative to 4o. To me, it's very obvious that one is better than the other. All right, but let's go with 4o right here, and I'm going to generate the outline. It says, please wait. Outline generated successfully, and I'll close this. Let's see what we got here. All right, so this is a standard WordPress editor here, not the block editor, but the old school WYSIWYG editor. And it says, setting the stage, the appeal of lifetime deals and open source for new online businesses, understanding lifetime deals, what are lifetime deals, the financial benefits of lifetime deals, the power of open source. All right, so we got a lot of different sections here. Actually, quite a few. Holy cow, it never ends. But I do like the fact that it's broken down into H2 headings and then several H3 headings underneath. What I would really do if I were using this to generate an article is I would go through and make sure that every section was included that I wanted to include and remove any duplicate ones or ones that were not helpful to me. And then I choose generate blog content right here. So this way we're getting an article based on an actual outline. I think this is a logical approach to generating AI-based content. Let's see what happens when I generate based on just without making any edits at all. We'll see what kind of article we end up with. All right, so we're waiting again. And it says your blog has been written. All right, let's hit close and we'll take a look at the blog post. Well, actually, I won't take a look at the blog post. It's not here. I just see the outline. So perhaps I need to go over to my posts. We'll go to all posts. And sure enough, here it is, a full draft. All right, that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and check it out in the editor. Maximize profits, why AppSumo lifetime deals and open source like CloudRound WordPress are key for first-time entrepreneurs. And I can scroll through here. And I've got a full-length, very long article. You can see it's 2,700 words, 14 minutes read time. So this is, ready to go, publish. Probably just want to add in our own images and we'd be ready to rock. I noticed my outline even called for a table, and I checked here and it actually included a table. Now, there's not any usable information here, but I could update that. We even have an FAQ section here. Notice it's just a bulleted list. So maybe I'd want to go through and tweak that as well and put it into some toggle switches or something. All right, the only real problem I see is the conclusion, which switched to a different language. So that is very interesting. Yeah, it switched to Norwegian, and then I can have it output into English. That is kind of hilarious. Everything else was great until we got to that conclusion, and then all of a sudden it went to Norwegian. I don't get it. Now, if you're wondering how much all of this has cost, we have spent 3 cents so far. 3 cents, not bad. Of course, we could even get this cost lower if they supported not just 4.0, but 4.0 Mini, which just was released recently, which is a lot cheaper and a lot faster to use. So, hopefully that gets added in the near future. All right, so we are back over in our AI Meta dashboard here, and you can see the new article that we just published right here. Now, the title is okay, but it's a little bit long, especially for search engines. So we could keep this title on our website, but display a different title to search engines. Let's generate a meta title right over here. And there we go. It says unlock success, power up with AppSumo deals and open source tools. All right, that's a lot better. How about a meta description? This is what shows up next to the title of the article if you are so lucky as to rank on Google. So I'm going to add the description right here, and it's generated one for me. Not a lot going on with these dialog boxes, so it's basically just close and go away. But the meta description is maximize profits as a first-time entrepreneur with AppSumo lifetime deals, Cloudron, and WordPress, all key tools for success. Okay, it's fairly good. So you can see how fast this is. If you've got a website with no titles and no descriptions, you could very easily just go through and boom, 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 knock them out. I actually might like to see a bulk option for adding these so that I could just tweak them afterwards. In fact, why can't I edit them right here? That would be another great feature to add. Just give me a little pencil icon and then I can tweak the words. But as is, I would have to go over to my post and do all of the editing over there. Not the end of the world, but I'm just looking for kind of nice to haves. Now, one cool thing that just occurred to me is that if you wanted to use this on a client's website, well, you could have them provide their own OpenAI key so that you're not going to be stuck if they have, let's say, a worker come in and just generate 100 different articles. You're not going to be stuck footing the bill for that because you can tie it to their OpenAI key. That's actually a big upside compared to some of the lifetime deals we see that allow, say, a certain number of content per month, and then it might switch over to your key. Well, then you're tied to just that one key. And if a client comes in and uses up all of your credits for the month, you don't have anything left. All right, I'm still very curious about the alt text generator versus the alt tag generator. And then down here, we've got the image compression tool. Up here, we have image compression. Are these the same things? Let's check it out. So alt text generator takes me to this screen. Alt tag generator takes me to the same screen. All right, we should probably get rid of both of those. Well, not both of them, but you know what I mean? Like it should just be the one inside of Content Boom. So let's check that on the image compression. Takes me to improved image compression, and under Content Boom, yeah, it's the same screen. So we have duplicates for a lot of settings here. Content Boom and settings are duplicates, and then there's duplicates for this one and this one. It almost makes you wonder if this whole plugin wasn't created with AI, and that's just why there's kind of some sloppiness involved. I'm speculating, no knowledge here. All right, well, since we're here, let's go ahead and do the image optimization. So I can click to compress all images. First, I've got the option to keep original files. Definitely do that. We'll keep the original format as well. And let's see, I've got lossy, glossy, and lossless. And let's go ahead and compress these images. Now I'm going to assume, yep, so it's just going through and compressing them right here on the server. So I've shown other services on this channel, ShortPixel, kind of the OG AppSumo deal. I recently did a sponsored video for Elementor showcasing their image optimization tool. Both of those tools have the benefit of taking the optimization off of the website. So if you're actually optimizing hundreds or thousands of images, well, it's not going to be slowing down or taking up any resources from your site. That is actually a big deal. But if you just want to do it once here, you'll be able to do this for unlimited images. That's definitely not such a bad thing either. So pros and cons. So looking at the results of this first page here, you can see we've got some pretty decent compression rates until we get to these right here and actually made the images bigger for a lot of them. That's a little bit weird. So like the starting size was 15 kilobytes and then the ending size was 19 kilobytes. So yeah, any of these negative numbers are not so great. So I'm going to go back to the original here, see how fast that is. It says reverted successfully. And there we go. I can compress it and try again. Let's say I go to glossy and that made it even bigger. It went from 6 kilobytes to 53 kilobytes. Another thing I don't like about this image compression is the fact that I have to do it on a page by page basis. So you would think when it says compress all images, it would just do everything on, it's going to compress these all again. It's going to do everything on the whole site, but it doesn't. It only does this one page here. Now, when that's done, I can go to the next page and press it again. But, well, not only are we making these images much larger in many cases, now I also have to go through every single page. And if I have tens of thousands of images, that's a real pain in the neck. There are no settings to display more images, so I'm just kind of stuck with whatever it gives me. All right, so image compression, not so great. Article generation, better than I expected. Metadata, looking pretty good. So, image compression feels like they just threw this in. They didn't really give it a lot of effort. All right, only one more feature to check out, and that is the alt text generator. These, of course, are going to be the text that display on your images when someone's using a screen reader or for SEO-based purposes, when they're trying to understand what the content of the image is. So I've got a few images on here. Let me find maybe a product image. All right, so here are some sunglasses. Let's go ahead and generate. The idea here is that it would look at the product and then describe it. So there it goes, it worked. Black sunglasses with round lenses resting on a white surface with a partial red Supreme logo in the background. All right, that's a pretty good description. Let's try another one here. This is very obviously a car. It looks like almost like a toy car. Let's generate this. A white vintage toy car with black windows and yellow accents on a bright yellow black background. All right, that's an excellent alt text description. Really, really nice. What I'm noticing right away, there is a generate for all. So let's go ahead. I can select the ones that I want and then generate, or I can generate for all, but I assume it's just going to be on this page as well. Let's try it. So generate for all. You can see I've got 32 pages. It's going through and filling these in. And now I'd assume it is done. There's no messages telling me it's done. No, it's doing these again. All right. So it regenerated those. And now if I I'm on page 3 right now. So if I go to page 4, it's not going to continue going. At least in this tool, there's an option to display more. I can go up to 50 images per page, but still could be a lot if you've got thousands of images. This condenses this website down to about 4 different pages, but I'd love to see just a bulk generation button. And if you're keeping score at home, we have spent 4 cents. Not bad. It looks like it's using GPT 3.5 Turbo for the image generation because I was not able to choose a default model there. So I kind of wish it would allow me to improve that, although I was happy with the descriptions I saw. All right, we're almost ready to wrap up this video. I just want to point out that if you create a post from scratch, you will see a SEO Meta Data Box if you don't have another SEO tool installed. In fact, even if you do, you're still going to see that here for Content Boom, but we can't use the SEO inside of the general editor of WordPress. So that's kind of a bummer. I wish I could generate something right here and just kind of have it all done, but you can't do that. So get it out of your mind. It's never going to happen. Well, maybe, unless they add it. There's also no way to use AI generation right inside of the editor. So if you wanted to spruce up existing content, maybe bolster it with some additional AI generation, you can't do that here. So head back out to your favorite word processor that is powered by AI. All right, let's put a bow on this thing. Here are my final thoughts and a score for Content Boom. Now, Content Boom is so obviously flawed. There's just redundant menu items. It's hideous. There's barely even a user interface, and yet still, I like it. It's actually going to save me time by generating this metadata for me with a single click. So I got some blowback for my recent AI reviews for tools that were much more beautiful than Content Boom, which I scored in the mid to low 6s, Alfana, Unifier, to name a few. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put Content Boom right around that same area. If it had an actual user interface, it would definitely be up into the 7s. Now, we can agree to disagree here. You might love Alfana, but it's going to take me a lot of time to actually improve the content that Alfana generates. Whereas with Content Boom, I click a button, and where there was no content that needed to be there, all of a sudden it exists. So that is pretty powerful in my book. All right, bottom line, I'm giving Content Boom a 6.8. If you want to pick up a copy of Content Boom, of course, I've got a link down below. And hey, even if you don't want it, you can click on that before you buy anything at AppSumo. It helps support this channel so I can make more reviews like this one. If you want help with your online business, or maybe you want to take one of my premium online courses, check out clientamp.com. There's a link for that down below as well. At minimum, you can get signed up for my free email newsletter. Once again, I am Dave Swift. If you're new around here, make sure you click that subscribe button. Hit like if you haven't done so already. I'll be in the comments answering all of your questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.